Another day, another Monument to Endurance deck. Hello, Inspector52 here. We're playing Monument to Endurance in Izzet colors. This should be really exciting because there's just so many good cards in Izzet that enable Monument to Endurance. So if you're unfamiliar with Monument to Endurance, it's 3 mana that rewards you for discarding cards. So you get to choose one that hasn't been chosen, draw the card, create a treasure token, or each opponent loses 3 life. There's just so many ways you can build around this card, and it has really good payoffs because it's card draw, mana acceleration, and damage. So it's kind of like a way to win a game all in one card, which is really cool. Besides that, what are we playing in blue to enable Monument to Endurance? We've already played Boros, so we're really adding blue here. 3 steps ahead is an interesting way to copy it and then also trigger it in one card because we use both the last 2 modes. Waxen Shapethief similarly can copy it or trigger the Monument to Endurance, which is very nice. In terms of removal, we also get the addition of Spell Pierce, which is cool. And then, of course, we're playing Artist Talent. Just wants us to play non-creature spells, which we're kind of built around, which also works well with our Crackling Wit, which is awesome Planeswalker for this deck because we're going to play non-creature spells, and that's going to increase Ral's loyalty. And then the -3 is draw 3 cards and discard 2 cards, which will double trigger the Monument to Endurance. And since we're going to be drawing additional cards, we can trigger our Thopter Fabricator, which says whenever you draw your second card, you create a 1/1 Thopter Artifact creature token. So these are pretty good for chump blocking. And then lastly, we have Ill-Timed Explosion, which is a sweeper that allows us to discard 2 cards and deals damage equal to the greatest mana value. And so we're playing Roaring Furnace and Hearth Elemental, so we have some kind of 7 and 6 mana effects to deal damage. Hearth Elemental is an interesting tech card because we can pay to discard our hand and draw 2 cards. So if we don't have a lot of cards, we can draw more cards or just trigger our monuments a lot. It gets discounted as a 4/5 for number instant and sorcery cards, which is nice. And then Roaring Furnace, early game removal. Late game, we can unlock the Steaming Sauna to draw additional cards, and that will trigger the Thopter Fabricator. Besides that, in our lands, we are playing Amari Vault. That is everything in the deck. Let's hop in some games and see how we can do in the ranked ladder. Alright, if you enjoy this video, make sure to like it, and let me know how are you going to build around Monument to Endurance. Anyways, we go first. I think we don't have any good early game interaction, but I like having lands, and a survey land to lead it out seems alright. We can find something good early on. That's removal, we'll take it. Thopter Fabricator should work pretty nice with the rest of this. Opponent might be playing big green stuff because they played a forest, which would be a pretty bad matchup for us, to be honest, because red notoriously bad at dealing with big green stuff because it deals damage as removal, and so high toughness that green gets can be problematic. We'll go ahead and counter that. I didn't play out the Thopter Fabricator because I figured we're gonna need to counter as our removal in this deck. I'll go ahead and run out Ral though, so we can start maybe get this Storm payoff. This is a kind of backup win condition in the deck. If we get to 10 loyalty, we can go ahead and Emblem Ral, which says instant and sorcery spells you cast have Storm, which allows us to copy them up a bunch, and we get to draw some cards when we go ahead and do that. Opponent levels up their Innkeeper's Talent. Trailblazer, we'll actually not be able to kill. Oh no. Actually, no, we will. Okay, sorry. I thought it was going to get multiple counters. Haywire Might, a little scary, but I think we'll be fine. It does have Ward, but we can get through the Ward. What do we want to do? I think we save the Roaring Furnace. Yep. Go ahead and deal with that. And the Roaring Furnace would potentially get blown up by the Haywire Might. We're just going to try and get our loyalty up. Should we get rid of the Might? Yeah, we could get rid of the Might, and this would get Ral some extra loyalty. It's maybe not the best, but then we can unlock the Roaring Furnace next turn and start drawing additional cards. So I think this is actually not that bad. Go ahead and swing in, hope the opponent doesn't have haste. Cross our fingers. There's not a ton of green cards with haste that see play, but opponent is playing green, so they're already not playing the most standard of decks, so they could be playing some different things. I think this World Wagon actually is pretty decent. Pretty decent. I might go ahead and see if we can draw into another spell to instantly emblem our guy here. Discard a card. Discard, well, the Spell Pierce is not going to do much here, so we can discard that. Play land, play Thopter Fabricator.
I am confident this will
We get 10 loyalty, we get emblem. That's got to be good enough to win the game, surely. Okay, that's interesting. We'll deal 6. Opponent can hit us back for 7. Oops. Probably should have stopped them from world wagoning. Oh my, they didn't. They could make a fish token though eventually, which is scary. But all right, we have Storm, so we should try and play multiple spells. Well, play several spells before we cast one of our instant sorceries. We're going to be able to double this up to draw multiple cards. We're not going to discard. There's nothing to blow up that we care about. Get to trigger our Thopter Fabricator. Don't really want to discard again. We can crew this for an additional bit of damage. We have the Thopter back as a blocker, so hopefully the opponent doesn't have trample. Are we going to win with the beatdown and Storm plan? That'd be funny. We have direct damage thanks to our monument. Opponent though actually does get to directly or just immediately emblem, and their creatures now have trample because they have double counters, but opponent doesn't actually have a response to the board. Wow, okay, that was interesting. Okay, you go first. This hand looks great because we have Spell Pierce and Skycrash. Those are really game cards. I think we hold up Spell Pierce maybe, or we can try and just cycle Skycrash turn 1. Do we think they're going to play a relevant non-creature spell turn 1? The opponent has a Chandra avatar, so maybe they're on the mono red. I gotta try out this sleeve. I think I got it from completing an achievement. Well, we're going to cycle Skycrash probably, because I think the opponent's probably not playing Dimir, so they won't turn 1 Hopeless Nightmare, and so we don't need the Spell Pierce turn 1. We appear to be correct, but that is a hard fire here, so okay. Well, in the absence of a better play here, we're gonna go ahead and just Artist Talent and set up our Monument to Endurance engine. One of the weaknesses of playing Izzet is that we really don't have life gain like you do if you play, you know, another color pairing. So if you're, for instance, the mono or the Boros deck that we played, we were able to play, what was the card? We played some cards that gained us life. That is what happened. We can run out the Monument to Endurance, but then we almost like surely die. I feel like we gotta get rid of the Heartfire. Get rid of the Heartfire, hold up the Spell Pierce. 3 steps ahead isn't bad. Hearth Elemental. It is a big body, but it's kind of expensive at the moment. I think we get rid of the 3 steps ahead. I hope to draw into something better, but that's maybe not good. This should at least prevent them from getting more Valiant triggers. I may have picked the wrong creature to target though. We will find out. Double Strike goes up to, or it doesn't change power. It just gets the Valiant trigger. Alright, the opponent does go for Monstrous Rage. We'll go ahead and hit that. We can discard the Waxen Shapethief. Land is not really what we want to see. What we're going to take, we're still taking 7 damage. Ral is also not what we needed to see here. I think we are just dead. Dead on... Oh wait, we can play this out. I was wrong. We're not quite dead. We're just like mostly dead, I think. Opponent just had a really fast roll. And we did not draw into any of our burst lightnings to kill things early on. We had the furnace, but that was about it. Opponent counting. That's dangerous. Counting in Magic, especially when you're playing mono red. That's like almost against the rules. And then Witchstalker Frenzy, and we are dead. Alright, you go first. Let's mulligan. This is better, but hopefully the opponent plays an artifact. I don't know. A little bit rough set of hands. I don't think we need double artist talent, so we can probably put one of them back. This is definitely going to be the first version of Izzet Monument. I think we're gonna have to revisit this because I put in a bunch of new cards because I wanted to test how they play out, but okay, the opponent's probably on Azorius artifacts. Like, we can probably cycle one Skycrash, but probably keep the other. Probably the talent because it's good value. Oh my goodness, I think I literally I saw, I think it was Swayze, we played a version of you know what, let's just ramp. I don't really want to play out any of these cards. Played a version of like Affinity with Dollmaker Shop. Someone suggested, wow, the Wit Glyph was not. Well, yeah, that tracks because I think he also played Zoetic Glyph. So let's play this. 3 steps ahead is a little slow here. Monument is kind of nice. Ahead. Make a dude.
Otter to otter? I need some help.
Skycrash. In response. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have a counter spell, but I don't think the list that they're playing does. There's a lot of artifacts. And that's a big Medican core. Alright, we block first, just so that there's no way they can or discover into something crazy.
I have a plan.
Roaring Furnace is not going to do it. We need the Sweeper card to blow up the entire opponent's board. Discover 3. It's a Dusk Rose Reliquary. Only hits artifacts or creatures, but thankfully we've already blocked, so even if the opponent gets rid of our otter, it doesn't really matter that much. I'm glad I waited until blockers. That saved us a little bit. Alright, I think we have to dig for the Sweeper. That's not a Sweeper, so are we cooked? Are we cooked? Discard 2 cards. Spell Pierce is not going to do it. Actually, Spell Pierce might not be that bad. Discarding 2 lands definitely seems like the wrong move to do. We want the Furnace to get rid of the... Alright, let's see what happens. So we can play this, and then we can play the Thopter Fabricator. Draw your second card. I think we already drew our second card because we triggered that, so Fabricator is actually not going to do anything this turn. So we could just dig for the Sweeper. It's not going to help either. Oh wait, we don't have enough damage because Roaring Furnace is a card that deals damage equal to the number of cards you have in your hand. Okay, well, we at least cycled some and found the Scorching Dragonfire that we needed. What do we get rid of? I probably should have gotten rid of an artifact, but okay. Surely you'll be fine.
Another genius idea by Rob.
Discard the land. Go ahead. We just create a treasure token? Or start draining? I think we create treasures. We're in the state where we're really just coasting as much as we can. Someone has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 4 artifacts. Counting again proves hard. I think we cycle this for a card. We already got our Ral back up to 6, so we can double trigger our monument with that, which is also intriguing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you looking at Ral like that? Opponent on the speed. Interesting. Well, we don't really have a response to that. Hopefully they don't have a...
Careful.
Okay, they didn't have a follow-up. We're gonna cycle this, draw 2 cards. We get a monument trigger. Thopter, okay, sweeper. There's all the sweepers, man. What the heck? Alright, play Thopter Fabricator.
It's time to
We will
erase
not
the
do this because we want to get the wait, it doesn't matter if we get the Thopter. Oops. Ignore me.
my way to victory.
We'll keep that just in case we need it to discard it. We have to discard 2 cards. We'll discard these 2. Get 2 triggers on our Monument to Endurance. Treasure, draw a card. I think are the most important ones here. Oh wait. Okay, never mind. We did that the right order and we do get a payoff. I think I will go ahead and tick up Ral. And we could attack in, but it has Summoning Sickness, so we can't. I can't believe we're holding in here. I thought we were toast. And we win. Wow. No way. We are against MTG Goat with the title The Mighty. I need to figure out how to get titles. Maybe I'll try and set that up between matches because I want a title. That seems cool. Thundering Falls into Burst Lightning. Is that a good sequence? Probably not, but I have to say games like that last game are they are the most rewarding to win. They're the most fun to win because you're just like powering through with card selection and you just somehow make it happen. Okay, our hand looks pretty good in terms of we have Monument to Endurance and payoffs and we have some kind of removal. Opponent seems to be probably some kind of Orzhov Beseech the Mirror Reanimator deck. That's my guess. They're playing an enchantment land for a reason, so they probably... Huh, okay. Intriguing. Well, I guess I won't run out more permanents. I can discard something to the Fomori Vault to draw a card, or draw 2 cards. I'll probably discard the Burst Lightning, assuming the opponent doesn't play any big creatures, but Karn Silex, why are you playing that as opposed to anything else? Can't pay life to cast spells or activate abilities, that's fine. Maybe the MTG Goat needed a sweeper and they didn't have Day of Judgment. That is a cool avatar though. That's a Sarah or something. I've definitely just offended some people. I'm sorry. I must repent for my crimes. Draw 2. Pretty good for a land. Soul Guide Lantern. What, is this just like a hate piece deck? I'm so confused. That was some wild gameplay. Alright, I could play Monument to Endurance and cycle the Waxen Shapethief, but I think we'll be okay. I kind of want to keep the Shapethief. I think we get rid of Hearth Elemental. Assuming we get to keep this Monument to Endurance, I feel like that's safe to do. Alright. Can we keep our permanents for one turn, opponent? I don't think white has... Actually, white does have a artifact and an enchantment sweeper, but it's like a very multicolored card. What is our opponent up to? This, like, they're playing a bunch of cards that you would think they would be playing the new Selesnya Gear Hulk with. Opponent just concedes to our value engine. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little sidetracked between matches looking at the achievements and titles. I figured it out though. There's some titles that you get from completing certain achievements, and it'll show it in like that particular achievement kind of circle with the rewards. And then other achievements or other titles you get from completing Azorius, okay? But other titles you get from completing numerous achievements in a particular category. Okay, the opponent is on the deck, which is actually kind of funny. Okay, well, I feel like I really should bolt this. But then I don't get the Monument to Endurance value starting. Alright, we're gonna... this is a risky plan. Probably should dig for a better land or like removal. Okay, that's maybe better than 2 damage, but... Nurturing Pixie... isn't looking good. But we do have the sweeper. We're definitely going to keep the sweeper. We get to draw a card thanks to Monument to Endurance. We get to hate on discard decks with this deck, which is a big fun part of it. Now, the fact that we don't have enough mana to cast this ill-timed explosion is concerning. Well, ask and you shall receive. We need to really hit good though, in terms of cards that we draw. But we can draw 2. Okay, that is 2 damage. Can we hit a bigger spell? We did hit a bigger spell, and that one works particularly well. I think we'll keep the Scorching Dragonfire for anything in the future. And then we finish off our Monument to Endurance by creating a treasure and draining them, which is pretty good. Now if the opponent casts a Hopeless Nightmare, we get to draw more cards. So, pretty good position to be in. The opponent might have it this town though. Okay, that's just a fear. That's fine. We don't have life gain, so this will eventually cause an issue. Do we prefer Ral or 3 steps ahead? I think 3 steps ahead actually might be better. Because 3 steps ahead allows us to copy the monument. Could create a treasure so we can remove that, but I think we draw. Okay. I don't really want to get rid of the Waxen Shapethief if I can avoid it. But I think we just do this. Get rid of the Roaring Furnace because I feel like we're going to have trouble removing things with it. We want to ramp some though, so we can actually do all the cool things. Have we hit our land drop? No. So we can keep that, and then we can just draw a card. Not bad. I don't... Well, actually, another Artist Talent could be pretty good. And we can discard the Waxen Shapethief, worst comes to worst. But I think we want to keep it so that we can make copies of our monument if we can. We can cast the 3 steps ahead for the full value on the monument, though the opponent might have this town. Defiled Crypt. Okay, that can get their stuff back, which is scary, but that's fine. Because we will do the thing. Since we have another 3 steps ahead, I think we'll just discard the Waxen Shapethief. No, I'm greedy. Alright, this is pretty good to hand. I think we keep the ill-timed explosion, actually. And then we double trigger these to... I think we have to start draining. Double treasure token could mean that we could counter, but I think we just gotta start working away at our opponent's life total. Down to 11. Tied game. The next turn we can do 6. Actually, we can do 9. Opponent just runs out the Kaido. That doesn't seem great.
I love a dramatic entrance.
Emblem, not bad, but
I just hate a fair fight.
I think we have lethal. Because we can 3 steps ahead to double trigger our monument, or trigger 3 monuments, and then next turn we can cycle the Waxen Shapethief on their upkeep. So, I think we just win. That's pretty good. Alright, well, here's how we're going to win. We're going to go ahead, create another copy of the Monument to Endurance. I don't think we need this ill-timed explosion, so we can go ahead and just get some triggers while we're at it. Some treasures, maybe draw. I don't think what we choose here matters that much. We'll keep... I don't know. It doesn't really matter. And then drain, draw, discard, and then whichever ones we haven't chosen, and drain. In fact, we actually get to win the game this turn. We can play this and then trigger it. I don't think we should bother doing these because we can just Roaring Furnace and win the game. That is what I'm talking about. That is the 3 steps ahead value. Need to discard here so we actually get the trigger. I don't know, draw a card, 3 life, and GG. And we're promoted to Diamond. Let's go. Okay, that is going to do it for this deck. We're going to keep this one short because I think we're probably going to do a revision on this deck and try again tomorrow. Though maybe we'll play some Selesnya Gearhulk to try and prep it for a standard event. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can go with Monument to Endurance in Izzet colors. There's just so many cards that draw discard. You have Jace, which you can just +1 to draw discard. You have Fear of Missing Out, which is pretty good. You have Kiora, which also is like a threatening creature because it can make an 8/8. You have the Scholar, you have Profs that work well with this. You have the Mako, you have the Scrounging Skyray. There are just so many cards that kind of synergize with this plan. So there's a lot to try out there. But let me know what you would change about this deck. And if you enjoyed this video, consider checking out the previous video where we played Boros Monument to Endurance. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice morning, evening, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Take care of yourself.